welcome again to the Nancy Bluebird of Montana show. Today is towards the end of a kind of big festival for a lot of people. And some people call it one thing, some people call it another. Well, this show is going to be a spirit show, you know, so sort of take it where you want to. I sort of decided today to put in this, ladies and gentlemen, moms and dads, this is not a real tattoo, it's face painting. And one of my crew members, she's a face painter, whose name is Susan. And so I'm really happy, you know, to be here again with you. We also have a fun show tonight. I think especially kids would really like it. I have a girl here today that is going to be playing some kind of different music that you probably would normally hear on my show, but it's all done in fun. So, and her name is Janet, and she will even be accompanied by a big surprise. So, you know, tune in and stay tuned in.
Okay. Hi, I'm Janet Salmonson, and I've been born and raised in Montana, and I lived in Missoula most of my life, and I'm 38 years old, and I'm an artist, and I like to play the piano and the harmonica and the guitar, and I like to sing, and I also sing in the church choir, and I also I practice every Tuesday night with the Sweet Adelines. And I'd love to draw different types of pictures, portraits, scenery, etc., and animals. And I also make costumes and masks, and I've taken an interest in that ever since I was 10 years old. And Halloween has always been my favorite time of the year, and I've always made costumes for this time of the year and entered contests and that. And I've had a lot of fun and won a few prizes here and there and lost a few too. And and I'm just every day I do just a little here and there, and I work out at the gym once a week, or no, 3 or 4 times a week, and I plan on doing more with my art and my music, and my goal is to be to work in animatronics, and I'd love to be working in a movie studio doing animation.
Okay, and welcome to, again, the Nancy Bluebird of Montana show. And I thank Janet very much for the introduction of her music. You will be seeing Janet and her friend a little bit more through the show. This is, like I said earlier, is called the Spirit Show because different people from different walks of life have a different meaning of, you know, the 31st of October. And I won't go into that because I just feel that's not what I'm trying to bring to this show today. but all my viewers, I really hope that you do have a safe and wonderful time on that day, and especially you young people, from however old you are, maybe 5 to 105, sometimes, we get all caught up, but there's moments, that we feel like, we're teenagers again. And talking about teenagers, I've got two marvelous young women here from Big Sky, and they're both in Miss Evans' creative writing group. Is it a creative writing group?
Yeah.
And I had a chance in May to film some of her students, which I didn't film either one of you, but maybe towards in April when you have that coming up again, I'll be able to film you in that. Tell me a little bit about, first, Desiree is the short hair, strawberry blonde, I guess you might want to call it. And we got Jessie here. She don't like to be called Jessica. So I have to watch that, I guess. So why don't we start with Desiree and just tell us how you felt like, you wanted to be in this class, and some of your goals, because are you both seniors, is that right?
Yeah.
So you're going to be going off to college, and you can tell us a little bit about that?
When I graduate, I'm going to start taking law school, and then I'm going to, at the same time I do law school, I'm going to get my Master of Fine Arts in Creative Writing.
And what brought you to Mrs. Evans' class?
I've been writing poetry since before I could write. I used to memorize it, just in my head. And there was finally a class that said, hey, come write some poetry for me, I'll give you a good grade. So I took the class, and then at the end of the year she offered me to join her ARI class, which is the Advanced Creative Writing class.
So, you getting good grades?
Yeah, great grades.
Okay. And you, Jess?
I kind of got in it the same way she did. I was in the creative writing class as well, and then Miss Evans asked if I wanted to be in the ARI. And I plan pretty much on going to college, and I want to be an English teacher.
Yeah, we talked about. Now, do you both have a college picked out? Not really yet.
I'm going to the UM.
You're going to the UM. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of didn't want to go here, but I think that I probably will end up in it. So.
You got to get on that right away, to get in. I know it's kind of hard sometimes, even if it's your hometown, you still got to get those papers, done and everything.
Yep.
So, how are you doing in Miss Evans' class?
Good.
Good.
Yeah.
She a good teacher?
Yeah.
She actually is really good.
It's
teacher.
a good class because it's like open and it's not, you don't have these set rules. It's just kind of a really free class. So.
Good. And for our viewers, we're doing it just a little bit different than normal. Generally, I just have one poet here. The reason I sort of seem to like this atmosphere, the weather's getting kind of cold, and it's kind of hard to take the camera out and do scene in Missoula type shots, For any reason, if any of you young people are out there and would like to be filmed, someplace in Missoula, maybe at your favorite coffee shop or some other place, maybe even in your school, get a hold of me, and we'll work something out. I just do not want to jeopardize the machinery here, to put it out in the cold. But again, in the spring, we'll start doing that again. I guess at this time, I think we'll ask Jessica, I'll let you go first, and to come over to the podium and read some of your work. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
before we hear from Jesse, I do have a poem. In fact, I got two poems because last show I didn't read any, though, so I got a double whammy for you people this time. And it's called Wandering Spirits. I've heard it said that there are good spirits and ones not so good. We're told that the good ones will help us get through each and every day. Then on the other hand, they say, watch out for those bad ones. They get you every step of the way. But for me, God is all good, and He is love. For me, is true. That's the way I understand it as a trial. So when thoughts of the spirit surround my mind and starts creeping in, I try to turn to my higher power, which I call God Almighty. And He is the only one can bring me peace within. And that's one of my poems.
Okay, I'm reading this poem and it's called October. Like diamonds, drops of condensation, once embedded in the leaves, are now flaky and brittle as cracker crust. The pavement is moist. Water soaks in like syrup, devouring sponge cake. Lingering in the ghostish breeze is the first scent of fall. That rocky, damp fragrance that forces you to pull your coat tighter. Brown, orange, and yellow disguises the emerald grass. Trees grasp the few skeletal outlines they have left, but lose the battle, and abandoned stand naked, shivering in the cold. And then the second poem I'm going to read is called Hunger. I clutch the chrome, cumbersome gun with a sweaty grip, pearls of sweat not caused by fright. My conscience escapes me, leaving shadows behind. Knowing that nothing could stop this desire, his eyes are jade, an ocean so calm. But soon they'll be gray, a desolate, empty sky. He speaks to himself, unaware of his soon departure. I silently introduce him to the cold barrel. I end his life with a fearful trigger finger. His hands will embellish my skin no more. His nose no longer lost in my tempting perfume. I leave the house with translucent feelings, a wandering mind. I have a place I go after filling my obsession, a luxurious tree with hidden branches. Snow that never melts rests at the base. Mysterious dark angels hover. Disturbing sweet laughter pricks at my skin. A solo teardrop leaps down my face, but my devilish smile quickly takes its place. Angels' wings, distant and black, they blossom and offer my soul a home. The stars shed light upon my face and seem to show the world my fate. A dark cloud passes, and soon I vanish with the angels. Today is the day I hurt no more.
Thank you, Jen. Go ahead, Justin.
My name is Desiree. I'm going to be reading 4 poems today. The first one is called Beauty. You float down the hall, sable hair cascading seductively in tendrils that border icy blue eyes and china white skin. You are ready to tear apart anyone who challenges you, though your elegant hands only clench a fist. The anger builds inside you always, until at last the sourness bleeds from your open pores, moistening your porcelain flesh. The crowds will leave, your audience depart, until you are in solitude and your reflection stares back at you, slashing your thoughts like paper. As thick paint melts away, frozen eyes become hot coals, and you see what you have become under your mask. Fair skin becomes haggard and falls away, leaving only thick, horsey flesh. Claws have torn through your dainty fingers, revealing monstrous palms. Beauty has left you this way, crying glacial black tears before your mirror. And the second poem I'm going to read is called Night Skies. Pale blue walls surround her, the curtain's moonlit shadows climbing as though they are spiders catching prey. Fear encompasses her like a knit sweater, wrapping her mind as she wanders in her dreams. She sees crowds of people that never know, crowds of lemmings, and you are on her like an animal. You clawed through her dignity as though it were delicate silk, reflecting a sunlit sky. Azure carpet tickles her face as melancholy settles into the soft flesh that you plundered. Her body trembles in the cooling midnight air, and her voice fades with the moon as cotton puff clouds suffocate the world's nightlight. Another poem I'm going to read, it's on the lighter side. It's called Watching the Storm from My Bedroom Window with Dad. Concentric ripples speckle the water until no reflected image is distinguishable. The sun evaporated long ago behind indiscriminate mist, budding in the sky. He loves the rain. Electricity consoles the horizon, leaving anxious shadows in its wake. A low rumble swells in the valley veins. And the last poem I'm going to read, it's called Morning. Sunlight pouring down with loveless whispers of wind and heartless clouds of joy. I'm alone at last. The leaves stir in the wind. It's so quiet now I can almost hear the grass beneath me grow. The water gently flows by, easing the lapse of time. I'm here, but never seen. The folds of time have forgotten. The cruel world still spins, leaving me behind. I'm that which sits alone. The trees shudder in the wind, crying in unison together. Flowers sleep lazily in the shade, not knowing or caring. I'm the forgotten child whose smiles are unnoticed and whose love is unfelt. Thank you.
Yeah.
Just one, Princess.
Right.
Can't get the secret word out.
Okay. That was very nice for both of you. And I'm really glad that you came on the show.
Thanks.
And I hope everybody back at school, will like it, There's one more poem, and then we have a big surprise for these two, because it is getting close to that time. And the poem I choose is A New Spirit Within. And this is reflect on myself again. As I go on my daily journey, one step at a time, and as life takes a foothold, I grow so weary. I start praying to God to take me home, but then all of a sudden I smell sweet roses and hear the birds singing their celestial songs, and I take in all this wonderful moment. My worried spirit does not seem so weak anymore. Now I see the reason why I'm still here on this good earth, that I still must call home. It is to show all my children, my brothers and sisters, His love for them with the love, joy, and peace that He has given to me. Then in my life we'll have peace and harmony. Therefore, in all I think and do, this now founded spirit that overflows with love to reach out to everyone that passes my way in this land of freedom called the USA. Now I got a question for you. And we have a few other classmates in the background, and maybe they can even help us. Now, when you went out on the 31st of October, did you guys collect candy?
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
And what did you say when you collect candy? Come on, what did you say?
Trick or treat.
They said trick or treat. Excuse our viewers, but it's a very small studio. But if you can catch part of this, here is our Puff the Magic Dragon.
Thank
and here's a few gifts for you both. And thanks
you.
again for having you. Now, Puff, why don't you sit down there so our viewers can see you? I know they've seen you earlier in the show. That's okay. You can whip me with your tail. There she is. There she is. There she is. Yeah. Okay. Well, you all have a very good, nice Halloween, or whatever you might want to call it. And we will see you in another fall show very soon. Goodbye.